同学们，大家好，欢迎你回来。So hi everyone, welcome back. 这是向老师。So this is the part 3 of the modal verb grammar in context series I developed for Center for Advanced Language Proficiency Education and Research, CALPER at Penn State. So we have talked about 能 and 会. And in this part, we're going to be talking about 要 as another modal verb. 要, and here we have the falling tone 要. It has another tone 要 when you use it in words like 要求, but as a modal verb or as a verb, it is the falling tone 要. We want to emphasize that 要 has two different parts of speech. It can work as a verb to mean need, to mean request. For example, when you are shopping, you can say, I want a pound of apples. 我要1斤苹果. The Chinese measure unit. 我要1斤苹果. 他要2张火车票. He wants 2 train tickets. 他要2张火车票. Or as with staff, you can say, 您要点什么? 您要点什么? 要什么? 要苹果, 要火车票. 要 as a verb. Need, want, request something. And this understanding of needing something develops further into a modal verb. It becomes similar to the English word need to do something. So it becomes a modal verb to come before a verb. For example, 要去看朋友. I'm going to see my friend. 要上班. I'm going to go to work. 要打工. I'm going to go working. 打工 is part-time job compared to 上班, a formal job. What is the central meaning of 要? 要, when it's talking about actions, it has no ambivalence as whether the action is going to take place. It is something that's already decided upon. It is something that you have volitional control over. It won't change. And the focus is on need because it's scheduled, because it has already been decided. There's no ambivalence about it's happening. I'm just going there. So if you translate this into English, the closest sometimes you get is the going form. For example, 要去看朋友, I'm going to see a friend. 要上班, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna. Because it's scheduled and it's settled. Just want to show you the ancient form, the pictographic form of 要 is the same character as the modern form here, is a person with his middle part being kind of squeezed. This has no meaning to, very little connection to the modern meaning of 要, but the sound is the same because, you know, the middle part of our body, 腰, that's the waist. You can still see the sound being similar. 腰, 腰. Let's see some examples from authentic sources. Yao Ming's autobiography. You mean we know the basket player Yao Ming. 我的世界,我的梦, my world, my dream. These 3 sentences are from his biography in Chinese. First one, 上海像纽约. Shanghai is like New York. 拥有一辆车要花很多钱. To own a car, it's going to cost you a lot of money. 打出租车还便宜些. It's even cheaper to just get a taxi. So 要很多钱, it's gonna. There's no question about it, no ambivalence, it's just the nature of the beast. 要花很多钱, 打出租车还便宜些. Second one, 在中国要成为职业运动员，12、3岁就得开始训练. So in China, there's no subject This is the so-called no subject sentence construction because you're talking about generic situation. Anyone can fit in the situation, so you don't need an explicit subject noun here. 在中国 anyone 要成为职业运动员 if they set their mind upon being a professional athlete 要 gonna 成为职业运动员3岁就得开始训练 so whoever that person is 12 or 13 years old they should have started training 就得 have to day we're going to talk about day in a minute the third one 上海要成为真正的国际化大都市不能只进不出要让上海人也走出去被世界了解 This is a difficult sentence. This is the policy of the former Shanghai mayor. His policy is that Shanghai has to become a true international cosmopolitan city. It cannot just have people coming in. Shanghai residents should go out to the world to be understood by the world. So this is a sentence. Shanghai is going to become a real international city. 上海要成为真正的国际化大都市. Here Shanghai is made into a person having volition. Gotta do this. 要成为 cannot 不能只进不出要 This is something that needs to be done. 要让上海人也走出去被世界了解 So all the three examples cover a range of nuanced meanings of 要 but the central meaning of 要 here is that there's no ambivalence about it. Either you have volitional control over this, or you just absolutely want to become this, or this is just gonna be as such. Now let's see a use of 要 as a very useful expression when you want to offer someone help. For example, 要不要 Do you need 要不要我顺路送你 Do you need me to give you a ride on my way home? So here in this clip from 不能说的秘密 Secret, you're gonna see the boy seeing the girl seeking shelter from the rain, and the boy says 要不要我顺路送你顺路 on my way 送 to give you a ride 顺路送你要不要我顺路送你 The girl kind of jokes 你怎么知道顺路啊 So you don't even know me, how do you know that we're on the same path home? 你怎么知道 How do you know? 你怎么知道顺路啊 And the boy doesn't answer, and then he continues with chit-chatting. 怎么突然下雨啊 How come suddenly it rains? 你没带伞 So you didn't bring your umbrella? So it's a simple dialogue, but 要不要, if you remember this chunk, you can use it to offer someone presuming that they may need something. So 要 here has this idea of needing something.
我顺路送你。
你怎么知道顺路啊？
怎么突然下雨啊？你没带伞啊？
嗯。
Okay, this is a pretty nice film. If you haven't watched it, it's worth checking out. The next clip is to show you 要 can be used as a command with the expression 你要 you need to do something, or 一定要 with emphasis you must need to do something. So in this clip from the film 蓝色大门 Blue Gate Crossing. This is the final scene. The boy is saying a final goodbye to the girl. They're graduating. The girl at this moment in her life likes girls, but the boy likes her, so the boy wants to tell her that if in the future you begin to like boys, please do tell me. He says, 其实 in fact 那天在电话里 that day on the telephone 我想说的是 what I want to tell you is that 如果有一天 if one day 或许1年后 perhaps 1 year later 或许3年 perhaps 3 years later 或许is more formal than the word 也许 maybe you learned the word 也许或许 is more formal 你开始喜欢男生 you begin to like boys 你一定要 you must 要 need to 你一定要第一个告诉我 you must tell me the first so 一定要 helps to give a command to someone, but instead of imposing on them, you are saying you need to do this. So that's let's hear this.
其实那在电话里，我想说的是，如果有一天，或许1年后，或许3年，如果你开始喜欢男生，你要第二个告诉我。笑屁！我是说真的。
Okay. So the next clip, I want to show you the opposite side of 要. It's not 不要. This is a tricky part because we tend to add negation 不 in order to make a negation for the same meaning. So need to versus don't need to, but don't need to is not 不要, it's 不用. 不用 用 means usefulness, so there's no use to do this. So remember that 要 need to do something, 不用 don't need to do something. And the 不要, later on we're going to talk about 不要. 不要 has a different meaning. So this is a clip a bit longer from the film 听说 Hear Me. In previous parts, we talked about this film where the two main characters are using sign languages to communicate what they both actually can hear and can speak. So we'll use this to practice reading as well and some vocabulary. And when we play this, because they're signing, you can use the captioning to do reading practice. So the girl says, the context is that the boy starts to like the girl, so the boy starts to make a lot of lunch boxes. His family has a family restaurant, so he cooks lunch boxes, bento boxes, for her because she was very busy working several shifts to support her sister. So the girl didn't know that these bento boxes are specially made. She thought they were just their regular bento boxes in the restaurants for regular customers. So the girl says, 现在经济真的很不景气哦. Nowadays, the economy was truly really not good. 景气 very good, exciting, so not so good. 为了要让大家来买便当 in order to 为了 in order to 要 the restaurant has this need for everyone to come to buy bento boxes. 为了要让大家让 to let everyone 来买便当 为了要让大家来买便当，连副汤都做得这么好。Even 副汤 means the soup that comes with the bento boxes. Usually it's free. 副 accompany, support, subsidy. So 副汤 means the giveaway soup. 连副汤都做得这么好。The boy wants to say the truth. 其实 and the girl interrupts and starts to drink the soup because she's hungry. 好好喝哦 So nice, so yummy. The boy says, 今天比较好喝. Today's relatively more delicious because he made it on purpose for her specially. The girl says, 这便当很贵吧? This bento box must be really expensive. The boy says, 不用钱, no need for money. 不用钱，这是买剩下的. This is leftover. 买剩下的. The girl says, 不行, it can't be. 一定要算钱，一定 must need to give you money. 算钱 calculate. 一定要算钱，一定 And the boy says, 不用 So here's a nice sequence to show you 一定要 something must be done, it needs to be done. On the other hand, it doesn't need to be done. 不用一定要不用 So let's play this and you can read along. "现在经济真的很不景气啊！为了要让大家来买便当，连副汤都做得这么好。其实好好喝哦，今天比较好喝。这便当很贵吧？不用钱，这是卖剩下的。不行，一定要算钱，一定。不用。This is also a very cute, nice film. Okay, so if 要 versus 不用 is a pair, what about the 不要? What does 不 and the 要 together mean? Well, it simply means don't. So don't do this. 不要. So let's look at several examples to illustrate. The first example is from a very popular Chinese sitcom, kind of similar to Friends in the US. A group of friends that live in the same apartment. So in this episode, F1 is a friend one of the friends. We have a groom-to-be who is afraid of committing himself to a wedding. So they spend the night with the boys. And then finally in the morning, time for the wedding, the boy, GM, standing for groom, goes to the wedding, the hotel where the wedding is taking place. So the friend says, 该来的 what should come? 该来的 what should come? 总要来的 it's always gonna come. So 要来的 it has its own momentum, it has its own course of action, it has just gonna happen, no ambivalence about it. 伙计 friend, 伙计 is a very colloquial way of saying pal. 伙计要不要我们陪你进去 As we just said, 要不要 can start a offer of help. 要不要 Do you need us to go with you? 要不要我们陪你进去 The groom says, 刚才我真的很害怕 Just now I was truly afraid. 可是等死期将至 死期将至 This is the idiom. It means it's a formal register, like you are writing this in the book. 死期将至 When the death sentence is coming. 我突然又不害怕了 Suddenly I'm not afraid anymore. 我突然又不害怕了 And the second friend says, 这件事给了我们一个教训。So this event gave us a lesson. 教训 a lesson. A moral lesson. 不要轻易结婚。轻易 easily 结婚 get married. 不要 don't do that. So it's not no need to. It's don't. So 不要轻易结婚。So let's watch this part.
该来的，总要来的。
罗杰，要不要我们陪你进去啊？
刚才我真的很害怕，可是等死期将至，我突然又不害怕了。
这件事情给了我们一个教训，不要轻易结婚。
Okay, so 不要 don't. Another example is also coming from a comedy, situation comedy, but it's in a sort of costume period drama. Is in a Chinese. It's a very, very popular, very successful Chinese TV show. It's based on the Chinese martial arts genre. It's called My Swordsman. And one of the guys here, this guy here, is the cook. He needs some help from the boss. This is the innkeeper. This is taking place in the inn, little motel. The innkeeper says, "Don't thank me." So 不要谢. We learned 谢谢, thank you. 不用谢. No need to thank me. That's a polite way to say it. 不用谢. However, when you say 不要谢了, it simply means don't do that. It's not necessary. 不要谢了. Don't do it. Okay, so she continues to say 走了一路饿了吧? So you just been walking a long journey. You must be hungry. 把这个吃了吧. Take this and eat it. This is the burned ribs. Like nobody wants to eat, and she says, "Well, you can eat it." Because it's funny.
也是孝顺，这个忙一定要帮。
哎呀妈，掌柜的啥不说了，感谢感谢。
不要谢了，走了一路饿了吧？
呢。
来，把这个吃了吧。
The boss is speaking in a dialect of Mandarin. I don't know if you understand her, but it's slightly different from Mandarin. Again, the cook says, 哎呀，掌柜的啥也不说了，感谢感谢。Very colloquial. Oh, boss, no need to say any words now. I'm just really thankful. And the boss says, don't thank now. Just eat this. 不要谢了，走了一路饿了吧，把这个吃了吧。Okay, so this is the part for 要. Next, we're going to talk about 想. Let's take a break. 好的，谢谢大家，辛苦啦。